Clash of Clans podcast, OG, episode 75. And welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Scotty 827, joined by the slipperiest man in Clash, the fish with the biggest wish. I don't know what that. Swim Boi. How's it going,
Hey
Swimmy?
guys, that's going good. Just busy as always.
The fish with the biggest wish. Don't leave me unattended. How's it going, Swimmy? What's new in the deep world of the sea?
It's going good. I'm just trying to stay on top of coaching, being an RA, studying mechanical engineering classes, and then trying to do my best to play Clash whenever I can.
Are you putting miles on still, like on the road?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Wow.
Yeah, last night I did a run. Sorry to my mom who's probably listening to this, but I did a run at like 12:30 in the night last night.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I was about to go to sleep and I'm like, nah, I
I
have a little
didn't
too much energy.
I didn't get it in today, or you just were like, I gotta just
Hmm.
burn it off.
Yeah,
Wow.
both. Both. Yeah.
Well, that's good. So you're
Yeah.
staying busy. Uh,
Hmm.
you're also doing the dorm life stuff. Were you doing some Clash? How is that going? I never got to ask you about that.
Yeah, it's going good. So for those listening, I think I mentioned it before, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm an RA, so I'm kind of like the dad of the pod in a way. So I have like 35 freshmen kind of living under my domain, I guess. And
So you got a
so during
taser
the first,
and
yeah, exactly. But during the first 2 weeks I was here, we have to create a theme for the pod and decorate it the best we can. And I obviously had to make mine Clash of Clans. I was planning it out all summer, so when I got here, I haven't done the full decoration yet, still, because I've been so busy. But the main entrance hallway, I have each of the heroes printed out.
I, s-
I think
I
that
guess
each of them take about 80 sheets of paper.
Jesus.
So they're super sized. It's like massive posters that I created. And so there's all those, and then we have to have these boards that have like passive resources like, oh, this is a map of campus, this is how you can get into tutoring and all of that. And I made the design of that. I think it was the profile page on Clash of Clans. So I screenshotted it,
Oh.
put it into Photoshop, and changed all the text
Oh
of that.
yeah. Yeah. Yep. I saw that picture, I think.
Hmm.
Oh, very
So that
cool.
one was really fun. And I was gonna have, because as RAs we have to have, I think it's 2 events per semester, where we get like all the pod together and we all do something. And so the first one, I was gonna have unlimited access to the printer because here we have very limited usage of it each day unless we spend money.
Oh.
And so I was going to use my unlimited printer, and because with the RAs get access to it. And our event was going to be decorating the entire pod in Clash of Clans theme. And it would be like a 3 hour thing where everyone's just like printing and like creating the posters and all that. And the printer was broken the day that I was going
Oh.
to do it. So I'm going to reschedule it and do it again. But
Well, Supercell. I mean, come on. If you're listening, you can.
yeah.
You got Swimmy doing a whole college floor for you. A perfect
Yeah.
place to do your advertising to showcase the types of things that Clashers are doing in the name of education and community.
Exactly.
So,
But we also made a clan for the pod. And I haven't been as active on that because I can barely stay up with my main account. But they are doing clan wars. I think
are they?
at least, yeah. And I think like 10 to 15 people are in it. It's like a fresh clan, so it's very, very low key and stuff. But a bunch of people made like new accounts because they hadn't played in years and stuff. And then there's a couple like Town Hall 12s and 13s, and
Oh,
I
so
have one of my alt accounts in there.
and so there were people like I had that were already playing it, huh?
Yeah, on and off, but I mean, everyone has played it at some point, and almost everyone loved the theme. There's one person who complained about it, but
Really?
that's about it.
But that
Yeah,
person would
she
probably complain about anything.
literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it was my first experience with her. I was like in the pod actually making the poster, and it was move-in day, and she just came in the pod. I'm like, "Oh, I hear the door open." It's probably one of my residents. So I peek my head around the corner, and right before I do, she's like, "Oh, why is it Clash of Clans themed?" And I'm just like, "What?"
Oh.
And I'm like, "Oh, do you not like it?" And she's like, "It's fine, I guess."
There always has to be one. Thanks for
Yep,
introducing yourself.
yep. Yeah, exactly. But literally everyone else loves it, so, I'll take that. 34 out of 35 is great.
Yeah, if you didn't have anybody come to you like that, then it wouldn't be a hit. You always have to have somebody that's like the stick in the mud,
Mhm.
but they would be
Yeah.
anyways, probably.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what.
and I'm actually my floor or my, pod is actually known around campus, and people just, like random people, never seen him before, never talked to him before, they just come up to me and they're like, "Are you the Clash of Clans guy?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yeah." They,
awesome.
like, live across campus and
We've
yeah,
heard about your
so
floor. Well done. Well done.
exactly. Yep. Known far and wide.
That's really cool. Well, and now Supercell has a chance to be a hero and pump up the jam for you. Help you out with
Exactly.
some decorations and some loot. That'd be.
Mhm.
You can get a hold of us, clashclanspodcast@gmail.com. Well, that's cool then. I think that's a
Yeah.
really awesome opportunity to be able to bring people. I know I wish I would have had that, like, because it
Mhm.
was kind of weird to show up and not know anybody, and it's nice to have a good conversation point at least. Something you can like
Yeah.
run into each other in the elevator or something and um, chat about. Yeah, what's your village
Mhm.
like?
Yeah, exactly. No,
It's
it's great because it's such, like, a community-oriented game, and that's the main reason why everyone plays, and, freshman year, that's what you wanna start creating is that sense of community, and so if we have that in game, then it's very, very easy to start connecting, and
yeah.
I think it actually helped a lot that first, like, 2 weeks, and now everyone is just best friends with everyone.
Oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
So with all that going on, where's your game at? Like in terms of how you're
Yeah.
feeling about like your hits. So I guess the big news is since have been just slammed and trying to get to episodes, wanting to record, and it's just been really tough. So I'm doing the best I can, and I think things are gonna smooth out a little bit in RL. Uh,
Mhm.
so I haven't got a chance to record since I recorded with T and Kat, and this was right before the league update, the
Right, right,
October.
right.
So I haven't had a chance to really talk about it or to. It's been so busy, and I know you've been really busy too. To dig into the update like fully. Like I've been playing, and doing my attacks and liking it and everything. But it
Mhm.
kind of feels like a big overall uh it is a big overall change. And so
Yeah.
how are you feeling about things?
Honestly, pretty much everything I love about it. It's nice because before, when it was, I mean, I was in Legends before, and then actually, I think what month was my last? I think it was August, maybe July. I think I would my last month in like
Oh.
actual Legends League was in August, And then I didn't like take a break from the game. I still did Clan War League, Clan War attacks and stuff, but just normal Legends hits and stuff. I did not have time for 8 attacks a day. So I dropped out of Legends, and I was like just maintaining and oh, what was that league called? The one right below that.
Titan?
It's Titan. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was in Titan 1. I think I dipped down to Titan 2 once, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta get it back up. So but I wasn't playing it near as much. I didn't have the time. And it's nice now that since everything is on a weekly basis rather than a daily, actually no, the Legends now is
Daily.
still daily. Yeah. So I guess the league I'm in, because it dropped me way below. Right now I'm in Electro 31,
Okay.
or
I'm
level
in
31 or whatever
33.
it's called. Yeah.
So
Um,
where were you right before then?
I was in Dragon.
Dr-
Before, the first, little week,
Okay.
um, and I was like it was, like, low Titan 1s that I was in. I saw that, like, they extended the season, so you had time to kinda push back to Legends so you could be in a decent place before they updated and changed everything, and so I did that, and I pushed to Legends, the day before, but then the day of the update or like right before the update, I didn't have time to attack at all. I would think I was studying for a test or something. And so I just got slammed. And so I dropped another, 150 trophies. And so then when they actually put out the new league system, it dropped me way, way, way down.
Well, you said you're in Dragon 30 or Electro 32?
31 now.
31.
Yeah, I was in
Oh.
Dragon when I first started. Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering. I had not even thought about that because I saw that you were. It looked like you were farming when and just kind of sitting in that range, and I didn't even think
Mhm.
about the placement. So
Yeah.
when if you're listening in the future, we switched over to this new league. What is it even called?
Yeah, I
I
think it's
should
just
know this
league.
stuff as like as a podcaster here. It's the October update, but they changed the league system. So it used to be uh, trophies and it used to be well, you could just listen to all the podcasts right before this if you're curious. And now we switched into this new league system where people are broken up. Well, now I guess this is what you'll be seeing. Uh, and at the event, right? So there's one
Mhm.
day where the league system switches over. And in that moment, at this point in Clash, they said it matters where you're at in the, in the last league system, or where you finish, and then you're put into these new leagues. Um, I got put into Electro 33. I was really
Mhm.
trying for that 6,000 legend trophies,
Yeah.
and it never happened. It
Oh.
I got very close. I was getting there. Of course, like every legend or like every season, right in the
Mhm.
thick of it, right at the very end, I missed 2 attacks. Like
Oh, no.
like and I even missed last week. I missed my clan capital attacks just to get my stuff. I don't know
Mm.
what you know how it is when you're just like busy and I'm sitting there on the couch watching something and I'm going, I gotta get my attacks in, and then it's yeah. So I
Mhm.
got put into Electro 33. I think the highest I did get was I bet I could see it right here on my 5863. I don't think I would have made it anyways with those 2 attacks. Oh, legacy all-time best, 53,737th place. That's how Scotty does winning right there. so I finished I was really hoping for that 6,000, but I was struggling with my army for some
Mm.
reason when we got there. I've been struggling with it since. I struggled all through last CWL. And so
Mhm.
starting this league system, the first one right through, I stayed in. So it's been one full week. So in this new league system, it starts on the Monday or Tuesday, ends on the Monday, and
Mhm.
goes with that system. So I did not promote the first time. How are you liking it? Like in general?
It's so much easier than Legends was, at least where I'm at right now. And it's weird because I'm still going against almost max bases, and they're decent layouts. I'd say 95% of them still have CC troops, and they're active bases and stuff. It's not like I'm attacking crystal level players or anything from the old ranking system. But my hit rate, I think I've done this week, I've done 20, what is it, 22 of my attacks? 21 of my attacks. And I have 11 hours left to do the last ones. And I have only not tripled twice. And before, I've probably had two perfect Legends days ever. Like, usually I'm getting between 4 and 7, almost always. And
Wow.
it's usually like 90% otherwise and stuff like that. And this one of the non-triples was a time fail 99.9999999%. It was just like one more hit and I
Oh,
would have had it down. And then the other one also was a time fail actually, and it was like a 97%. Um, and it's just like I don't know why. It just feels so much easier. And so I'm already ranked 14, and I've only done 21 out of the 30 attacks. And so I just need to be ranked 10 or above to promote. And all the people above me have done all 30 of their attacks.
wow.
So I think I've been doing super well on defense somehow. And then just on offense, I've been very either lucky or something because I think, let's see, I think in two attacks, I should be within promotion zone, and then I have another like 6 attacks that I can just do just to push me up higher in promotion zone.
And you're at what number? Number 10?
Right now I'm 14,
14. Okay.
and top 10 is promotion. So I have 9 more attacks to get me there, and that'll be easy.
So I am, let's see, right now I'm looking at this. I think I'm like 75. I've got 22 attacks, 26 defenses. Uh,
Mhm.
the people around me they'll have they'll have about 27 or 30. So I think I don't think there's any way I'm going to get into the top 10 with 8 attacks left. Um, so I don't know. I feel like I'm going to have some trouble promoting. So in these leagues, there are modifiers. So in the expert leagues, for example, is that defenses deals 14 more damage. Defending heroes, damage and health are increased by 14%. Attacking heroes and damage are decreased by 6%.
Mhm.
So it looks like, I wonder, oh, and you're in Electro 31. So you haven't been into the modifiers yet. It looks like the
Correct. Yeah, I'm still playing in
modifiers.
normal mode.
And so the modifier on that starts on Electro 32.
Mhm.
Okay. This is kind of where I was in the very, very particulars. It's what I hadn't really explored yet because you kind of look at stuff with people who can help make sense of it. So with the league system, there's differences in the number of battles of the tournament. You get 30 battles, and I'm in the 30 battles per tournament. The tournament's a 1 week thing.
Mhm.
I was going to ask you about the modifiers because I've been just feeling like I've been getting my ass handed to me when I go into
Yeah.
masters. And what do you remember like those hard you remember like hard mode, right? And switching back and forth
Yeah.
for like worlds when we were practicing and we are doing all
Mhm.
that stuff. That's kind of where I've felt like in the last 2 weeks because
Right.
I've been in this modifier. It is not quite like it doesn't feel like hard mode necessarily. It feels like regular mode, but I'm just failing. Like
Mhm.
it's not like this gross like, oh shit. I could only get 50%, hard mode or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
70%, but and I'm ending with like a couple 99% and stuff like that. But I think I had a really hard time during CWL because of the modifiers. Because
Mhm,
you're in a normal attack for the farming, but all of the
mhm.
legends, all the attacks that are going to count in the ranked, you want to hit with one army, or you want to get it, so you're kind of measuring yourself against that like masters or that legend or whatever. And so then when I go into the other modes, things were just off a little bit. And I had probably my
Right.
worst CWL ever. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's since I was probably a 14. Anyways.
Yeah, it's hard because I mean, are you switching up your, army between when you're in the modifier versus, normal CWL?
No, that's my that's my question, I guess.
Mm.
Is
Mhm.
I posed this question in chat today or the other day. I said, should our should your legend army work in every other place? Or how do you approach this next piece, right? Because so
Right.
if ranked is going to be like the legend, like okay, this is the big piece that you're really pushing for, and I like that it's a pretty individual focus there, and then you have the clan wars.
Yeah.
I almost just am curious if other people are using two different ones, or if it's now you can focus an army on like a Masters Legend esports mode, and will that just translate back into farming, or not to
Mhm.
farming, but war?
Right. Yeah, I've just been using the same army this whole time. Whether I mean, I haven't really experienced the modifiers yet, but I think even with them, I'm gonna be using the same one. I feel like the hard mode was a little different because it was so hard that if you got that 50% 2 star, that was an accomplishment.
Yeah,
75% that was like good. And then like a 75%, 80% was like kind of what you were shooting for. And if you hit that, then you're amazing. Um
but
where I feel like even with the Legends modifier, it's 20% more damage from defenses. Defending heroes is 20%, and then attacking heroes is 10% less health and damage.
and what was the
I think it's a
esports?
little less.
What was the esports one? I'm flipping back and forth here between the um get ready for the ranked update. I am kind of curious. Gameplay
Yeah.
changes. It says hard mode. Hard mode is now tournament mode. Have reduced attacking heroes have been reduced by DP 10% DP. Attacking heroes now have reduced 10. So it kind of looks like hard mode must just okay. It looks like tournament mode. If I was kind of comparing screens here. It looks like legends and tournament mode are the same except for equipment reduction.
Oh.
That's what it
Okay.
was.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, now that I'm looking at it in this recap screen, I was like, well, what's the difference between this? I saw this number and this number. So it says the very last bullet point in the news, uh, which I don't see on the modifier, common equipment, or on the ranked uh,
Mhm.
modifier. Common equipment is reduced -3 levels, max level 15. And epic equipment is reduced -6 levels, max level 21. Hmm. Okay. So
Okay. So,
just
yeah.
so I kind of like the whole idea because as we started doing it, and now after about a week, I'm starting to realize, yeah, that's going to have to feel, and as I hear other people in the chat or read, it's more satisfying to get that 3. I'm kind of assuming it's not hard mode, but I'm kind of going into it thinking it's regular mode, right? And so when I'm not coming out with
Mhm.
these 90, with these 100%, I'm starting to go, oh God, what's happening? What's my army? And then I'd go over to the other thing. The timing's a little bit different. I'd screw something up.
Mhm.
So now what's kind of cool would be that if we're doing this, if we're in Legends, next time we start the worlds, we should be much more practiced or like only bumping up the hero levels,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? Like I that's the one thing I saw in the whole update is I feel like it's a spin towards onboarding for the esports. So we're not going to
Mhm.
be like going back and forth just being hit by. That was really hard for me. Like I don't know why, but
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I feel like the equipment differences in levels is honestly one of the biggest things, that really kinda screwed things up and made, armies that so much weaker because with a level 18 fireball max, let's say, it doesn't take down everything the same. You'd have to bring another earthquake spell. That was something I remembered, which if you take
Yeah.
another earthquake spell, you can't freeze something, which completely changes the entire strategy. Um,
Oh, yeah.
and because it was just so much harder, you had to enter different because you couldn't it would be risky to attack from the opposite side of the town hall because if you don't have a plan and it's just like, oh, whatever's left at the very end of the attack takes down the town hall, you can do that in normal mode, maybe even with the expert or the legend modifier and stuff. But if you without the high level of equipment, you're not going to get it down unless you already were going to 3-star, which is the highest of the on the podium in terms of
Yeah.
skill and ability. Even they are struggling to 3-star.
Yeah.
um so like it would every single thing would change, where I feel like with this, at least Legends, it's kind of things are going to move slower and you have to account for that. And yes, you will have to plan your attacks a little bit differently and kind of time things a little bit better and differently, and it's less forgiving in a lot of ways, but you don't have to completely restructure your attack, restructure your army. It's kind of like swim boy, so we're gonna do a swimming analogy.
Yeah, do it.
So in swim, we have these things called cords. They're pretty much these stretchy rubber band things that you tie to the end of the lane and you swim against it. Another variant of it is parachutes, where it's literally a parachute that's tied to your waist and you swim
Drag.
against that resistance. Exactly. And so you do that so you focus on getting the power and the speed with all this drag working against you. And so then when you take it off, you feel like you're Superman. Like you just fly through the water, feels 1,000 times better, and all
Okay,
that.
okay,
So
okay,
it's kind of
okay.
it's very similar with this, where I feel like it's kind of you're training with the weights on the Legends League, but you do have to change things a little bit, but not too much, so that then when you go to normal mode, I feel like it's just gonna feel like the everything's released and you can just go crazy and it's gonna be moving way faster. And you're gonna be like, oh, normally this would die here, but it survived, and it just keeps going on and plowing through everything.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because
So,
because it should work, right? Like it should be you should just get more
mhm.
with the and it has been this last I think as I've talked about it and maybe it's just in my brain. It's just like identifying it and then like because sometimes I'm like maybe overthinking it. Like, oh yeah, normally I'd do this, but
Yeah,
maybe I would come in this way, because it's just the
exactly.
regular war mode. I do think a little bit that I'm holding back in the CWL and the okay. I don't want to say I'm holding back like they've got this like power that I can just add in, but I feel like a little bit of the problem is the 2-star versus 3-star, or kind of going for
Mhm.
that guaranteed thing versus coming in maybe like how I would normally hit it and taking a little bit of that gamble. And usually
Yeah.
it's that place that I have to gamble that it's like a blowout, or
Mhm.
end up with a 1-star. But I, just rough. What are you thinking about the
Yeah.
bases in all this? Like
Um,
defending and
yeah. Like, on our side defending or just, trying to attack the new base designs and all that?
well, so we started last CWL. I got some bases, did not
Mhm.
hold up well. I don't even know how to tell
Yeah.
like if they held up well or if it was just, and kind of what a bummer on that. Normally
Mhm.
we're getting an edge with the bases, and they went with a different company, and so uh, it just wasn't working out. But the other teams seem to have just awesome tough bases during CWL. I kind of felt like there was an evolution. I don't know if you noticed a difference or changes in the layouts, or if it's just that the people are getting maxed. Um,
Yeah.
I guess any thoughts
I
on the
think it's a
current
little bit of
state of
both.
bases? Say that.
Yeah, it's definitely if they're built in such a way, they definitely do have a chance to defend now, where a couple months ago, especially, like a year ago, there was no way at all that they could defend. Where now there actually is a chance, and especially against certain attack strategies, they definitely can defend really well. I think the attack I've been using is just something else because I can just power through literally anything. Um, and kinda on what you were talking about before with, like, the overthinking and stuff. For me, it might sound a little bad, but it works for me. Even if it's a clan war league attack, I'd probably give a little bit more time to that, but I even with my, old army, the Root Rider army, that I used to be using, I just I practiced it enough where I look at a base and I give myself probably about 30 seconds, just like a normal Legends attack,
Hmm.
where I'm like, I can identify, oh, what if I enter from this side? What would happen? What if I enter from this side? What would happen? And once the 30 seconds are up, I already kind of have a plan in my head and maybe take another 5 or 10 just to be like, okay, where am I gonna? I have a one rage spell in my army that has to be used at a very specific place. If I don't use it, or I forget to use it, or I improperly place it, the attack, I can still probably triple, but it really requires that to get through the core.
Yeah.
Um, and so I spend another 10 seconds on that, and then I just go. Like, I cannot spend time thinking because once I start overthinking, then I'm gonna be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, well, if this goes perfectly,
Yeah.
oh, maybe we could get that extra building down, that little bit more value." And then it doesn't happen, and then I'm like, "Well, my entry's terrible, like, it's over."
That's kind of what I do too, where I'm like, and I've been getting more towards that just go, don't overthink it. These
Mhm.
bases like that came out had me like, oh wow, I haven't really seen this before. It's kind of different. So then I get stuck in it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think the more you're like looking at it and you're saying you get your objectives. Like if you
Yeah,
the less you look at it, you identify your objectives. I need to get this. I need to get this. Then the longer you look at it, you go, oh, I think this one can get into here. Man, what if,
exactly.
and oh, I'm going to do this then. I'm going to take out this. And you get into this whole plan, and then it starts, and then your RC walks the other way. And
Yep,
and then it's like, oh, because I had kind of gotten married and had this whole, I wasn't flexible in the rest of my thinking. Um,
exactly.
I have to do that
Yeah.
more. I was just seeing these bases like I think it was one you shared yesterday, um,
Mm,
or these really spread out bases where it with the cores kind of isolated. I started hitting like I think I had a 1 star in CWL. Yeah,
mm,
my last one from one like that. Um, where it was such a shift to me with my army that I don't know, I just had a real hard time finding like the the rhythm of it and um adjusting. I don't know.
mhm.
Um
Yeah, for me, kind of in my Legends hits, or I guess not Legends, since it's what is this, Electro now or whatever, in my normal attacks, in my ranked
ranked.
attacks, in my farming attacks, um, I kind of even if a base isn't directly like that, like, there's kind of 3 or 4 different options of different bases. There could be, a nice ring base with that isolated core that has been showing up a lot more, like you're just talking about. Then there's just, like, the normal kinda box base. Everything's decently spread out, but there's no, like, isolated bo compartments or anything. It just,
Yeah.
everything kind of flow through. I love that kind of attack or that kind of style of base. And then there's the really, really spread out. Everything is, but it's not like an isolated compartment or anything. Or maybe there's a side compartment that's isolated, but not like the central area or stuff like that. That's like kind of the three main subtypes that I see and that I kind of plan for. And so if I see that, then I can kind of I don't have great base ID, like, directly, like, "Oh, I've attacked this base, 30 attacks ago. I remember, oh, this is how I tripled." But I
Yeah.
see kind of the general, like, "Okay, this is what they're trying to make the army do. Let's not follow that. Let's, like, just burn through the core." Um, and that's the one thing I will say too. I forget someone shared this army with me, and it was I think of it. What is it? 4 Super Yetis, with a little Warden Walk on one corner, RC,
The other.
um,
And
Sui on the other corner.
didn't you put some furnace on that too? If I, or no.
Yeah, I put the 2 furnaces with the warden. So, I kind of with the furnaces, that creates a mini funnel for the warden to start heading towards the center. So, I put, like, the warden on a corner, the RC on a corner, and then the furnaces force the warden to start going more inwards towards the middle of that side, if that kinda makes sense.
Yep, yep.
And
I do
then
something very similar.
Mhm. And then the, RC clears the other corner. She dies. She has the Phoenix on her, though, so she gets tons of value on the other corner, even if it's just, like, Archer towers and, a bomb tower and stuff like that. It creates such a massive funnel, with the,
Mm.
rocket spear and the electro boots, and then I maybe put, like, a baby drag above or something just to clear out the rest of the trash. But the warden with the furnaces and the RC creates such an insane funnel. I mean, the entire corners are completely gone.
Yeah.
And I spend about a minute just setting up that insane funnel, so then I can just send everything to the core, rage them through the core, and then it's just gone. Like, it's a minute setup, 30 seconds, 50% of the base is just decimated.
Oh.
And then it's just clean up at the end, and usually I have so much of my troops left because I bring, what is it, 4 revive spells?
Oh.
Um,
Wow.
so my king goes down, boom, he's back up. And because everything kinda sticks together, because with how the bases are, the compartments are relatively small, so
Yeah.
sometimes they do spread out, but everything's kinda in a pack. So if the king goes down, I'll just revive him, and he doesn't go down again for a long time. Um, and I revive the RC when the army gets to kinda where she was, so she's protected by the army, like, it's just nothing can die. And unless I do something utterly wrong, I finish almost every attack with 4 75% plus health heroes, 2 super yetis, and then just like random troops all around. And I'm just like, what?
Holy shit.
What?
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
it is such an insanely powerful, like, and you don't have to plan that much. It's just copy paste everywhere.
Y- You know,
Um,
I could do that because I do a very similar thing. Um,
mhm,
just with the, but I think where I could get gain from what you're doing is I'd take off the invis fox,
mm,
um, and get more of that corner. I'd kind of been selectively carving something out of there. I would lose
mhm.
the invis spells, right? Or no, you're taking invis, right?
No, I take no invis.
No
Literally, all
invis.
I do is, I have a ice golem, that I place down in front of my RC, and hopefully the, defenses should target that, but even if they don't, I have the Phoenix on the RC, so she'll always
Oh,
get all 10 shots of the rocket spear off, so at least most of the corner will be cleared, and I just can put a baby drag or some archers or something that'll clean up the trash if she dies super early. And then I have all the 4 revive spells for later in the attack when I want her again.
and when are you hitting the? Because Goat had said this to me. I can play with hitting the spear early. I like it a little bit late when if I'm doing my invis when I get inside when I can stand somewhere.
Mm,
How are you hitting it with? Are you hitting it right away? Are you waiting
yep.
to get in?
No, it's almost unless a very specific circumstance where there's, like, a super isolated archer tower, and I just don't wanna waste shots on it. But I would say 95% of the time, it's the second I place her down, I'm hitting that ability
Yeah, makes sense.
because time is it's not always an issue, but if I fail, it's gonna be because of time by, like, 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So I don't have time to try and like maneuver her into like the perfect position and not waste shots and all that. I just want the corner cleared and then she can go die.
Oh boy.
um,
Okay. And then when
so
you go through are you doing anything on those back corners? Oh, oh, let me ask you this before you. So on that one corner with the warden, what are you
yeah.
bringing for his equipment?
Oh, that's the other super powerful thing. I am doing just the gems. So I have the rage gem and the life gem. So no active ability whatsoever. And it's just, oh, the value. Because if
Really?
he goes down, I can just revive him and everything's targeting the defenses. So I get 100% of his value for the entire attack, making it way more powerful than the Eternal Tome or the Healing Tome because the life gem over the course of an entire attack is just
Huh.
bonkers.
Good point. Uh, so you're just letting him drive in on the corner or just kind of
Mhm.
clear and walk towards because I'll like a lot of times get him in on the corner and just let him clear and then start walking him in. But I suppose I could probably just go back to waiting it out and letting him drive in more. Just
Mhm.
things are so. Are you throwing a like ice golem in front of him too, or
No, I just have the 5 healers on him. I am the unicorn. So he has tons of healing. He gets in. I don't like send him like super deep or anything. The second he starts going too deep, and I see there's monolith there or anything like that, I don't want to worry about it. I just have to literally clear like the corner compartments, and then I'll go in from the side, and I'll use a Super Yeti or the Archer Queen or something to pull him more towards the center, and then I place the rest of my army down and then wall break in.
okay? Are
But
you
it's really the what it's shown me. Like I always have tried funneling. I always, pretty much for about a year and a half, I have recognized the importance of funneling. With my root rider army, I would always do the spirit walk down the middle, so then they would all circle around the base from one of the corners. And then I think I used a different army at one point. Very similar idea. But this has shown me the power of having a funnel that is, both corners super deep, or
Yeah.
not super deep, but, like, pretty deep, so that the funnel isn't just, like, right on entry, it's throughout the entire, area of the attack, and then from there, I have a jump spell that I bring so that then that funnels them into the very, very core compartment. That's where I rage, and if they split up some from there, that's okay, but I also have the troop launcher with wall breakers and stuff that all target the exact same wall, so no matter what, I'm literally using the walls to my benefit to kind of steer the troops,
Yeah.
at least mostly as a whole together.
That's kind of reminding me of almost like Super Bowler in a sense, like kind of
Mm,
that the technique of it reminds me if I'm thinking in my head, if I go back to how I was doing it with the Super Bowlers and the entry, that I'd probably
yeah.
be doing what you did and maybe be able to accomplish it, like with my
Mhm.
attack
Yeah, I
kind of thing.
remember those attacks. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, really established funnel. Um, I had wondered if the flinger isn't gonna make a comeback. I've been playing with that just to because of those spread out bases, too,
Mhm.
in creating that funnel. I did
Right.
I did wanna ask this, you know what I'm saying? Because there's, like, these wide open things, and can I get more out of it? But that's something I've gotta play with. I do I wonder if you could answer this for me.
Mhm.
Why why the Super Yeti and not the E-Titan?
Yeah. I don't know, honestly. I've been trying it and it's been working well. Well, actually, what is the HP difference on them?
She's
Because
got
I
more, I
Super Yeti just
believe.
he's oh, that's
Sh
Electromite. 7,000, oh my god, 7,000
but
hit
she's
points for
doesn't
the
Shouldn't she have 84?
she has 84, yeah.
8,400 for her.
So, yeah, I think, let's see, her damage is 240 with the aura of 137. His is
He's just an asshole.
525. Yeah. Jeez. So, I think most of it is higher DPS of the Super Yeti, plus the mites
Okay.
just are wild, especially in the core, because that's where they start taking all that damage, and the chain lightning in the core, because usually the core is pretty tightly packed together, it just chains to everything and it's just gone instantly.
Uh,
Um,
and I suppose
where
Aura's doing
the
it,
E-Tines are a little slower.
yeah, maybe a little slower to burn through a little bit more. What I've been so I've been curious about this because I don't know, I like the E-Titan and the
Mhm.
and then the Super Yeti, I I'm putting it in and it's cost 3 more housing space. And so I keep trying to, play with, like all of a sudden the Super Yetis, they're walking around at the end of the attack, right? And then
Mhm.
if I've got the E Titans in, she might be in there saving the day at the end. So what I did was kind of make a mix of them because I like
Right.
I like the idea of having the super yetis with the chain and get behind the walls. And although the super or although the E Titan does that too, in a sense, this one like carries, the chain. But
Yeah,
it also gets held up on like skeletons and stuff.
that's true.
So I was like, I
Yeah.
think a mix would work really well. And and to me, they're just a little bit different variations, but who am I on? I'm really trying to figure it out. So, but that makes
Mhm.
sense, and I can see why maybe I would keep two. I'm going to see how that works with a bigger funnel or with like a more well established funnel. Because if I'm
Mhm.
not doing
Yeah,
that
I feel like
invis, I could be
once they
doing something
split
different.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Once they split, like, unless it's 2 main groups, but if it's just, all going opposite directions, the warden gets by himself, so it's with the rage that they really shine. I think the Yeti mites also get the rage, so instead of doing only, 390 damage each chain, they do, whatever the percentage, 15% more or whatever it is, that really adds up. Um,
Yeah.
and it's just I think it's the speed because I always just
Oh,
power through to the very core. And with the E-Titans, if they were to go that little bit slower, that really might affect things a lot. They because yes, they
yeah.
do have that extra 1,000 hit points, but they take 1,500 extra damage.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's one thing, and then also in terms of, like, the skelly traps, I've been seeing a lot of witches in CCs, I don't know why, but dealing
Oh,
with all those skeletons and stuff, I always usually by the time that the troops have reached the core, I am able to revive the, RC, and she has the boots on her, so she just takes care of she's, a Electro Titan on her own.
yeah.
As long as, I see that the pathing is kinda going over there. And then also with the troop launcher, I get, all the archers and barbarians coming out of that do take care of all the smaller troops and just distract, distract, distract. The troop launcher, I used to not really care for it as much, and now I'm obsessed with it. It's so good.
So what are you putting in your CC then?
It's very with this attack, it's much less important. I'm actually just using 4, super balloons and then a couple wall breakers. Because the super balloons, kinda help with, or sorry, rocket loons,
I
super balloons.
I was getting what you meant though. I was picking up
Yeah.
what you're laying down.
The rocket balloons just again, this army is all about distraction, and they help protect the healers because those are kind of the healers are what are shining through. And I do have a couple Coco Loons out there, but with those Rocket Loons, it's just increased Coco Loons. They also, help defend against. It saved me so many times from like a monolith, or they just rush to the closest defense that is relatively low health and get it down before it can do an extra 500 damage or something. Um, and then the wall breakers as well. It has normal wall breakers, but with the supers in there, it really like um, it lets the core really open up. And I place that down pretty early so I can get them started working on opening up every single possible compartment so that everything can just power straight through.
Hmm. I might have to give up some things. Like, are you not using this snotty? What's his name?
No, although yeah, I was tempted to. I was thinking about that, actually, what was it, last night? Yesterday, during my 12-hour, calculus study session, I, would take, like, a 30-minute break and eat breakfast. So while I was doing eating breakfast, I, got, like, 10 attacks done. I just had a clan castle kick. It was just boom, 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 boom. Um and I
Interesting
was thinking,
breakfast.
like, the unicorn
Eat
the
a couple
unicorn
base.
just keeps the unicorn just kept dying, pretty early if, the warden I would be funneling, and he would be going against, Rico Cannon. The
Yeah.
unicorn would just die. And I'm thinking, with Snotty, that could definitely I'm pretty forgetful when it comes to those Coco Loons on the healers, middle of the attack. And so, with Snotty or Sneezy, Sneezy,
Sneeze.
Sneezy, um,
They
I
really
could
missed the
definitely help protect the loons
opportunity.
more.
That one.
Yeah.
That's a yeah. I hadn't. Okay, that would be the other part that I would have to change. And
Mhm.
maybe it's time to switch up my army a little bit. Obviously, it's not uh, doing what I had hoped or consistently as I
Mhm.
hoped. Uh, I could, and I think I'm going to play with that the gems in the on the warden in that funnel.
Mhm.
And that siege machine is what's gonna, or not the siege machine, but the troop launcher. That's probably the missing piece too for me, and that's probably gonna
Mhm.
help in the core. Um, it's maybe why like an E Titan might not be needed as much too. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's with both the warden equipment, I mean, you don't need invincibility anymore, necessarily. If you have I'm kind of replacing that's part of the reason why I want the, troop launcher, is it gives me that invincibility in a lot of ways, because if I have, instead of I mean, I have how many troops? I mean, 4 major troops, and the rest is just heroes and support troops, but if I have 4 major, um, what's it called?
Revives,
Super Yetis.
super yetis.
If I just have the 4, it just takes 1 monolith behind a wall and 1, multi-gear on the cannon setting, and they're just gone instantly.
Yeah.
But with the troop launcher, I have and so that's where you would use the invincibility, power them through that, and they would get that extra 7 or 8 seconds of just being able to get those down. But with the troop launcher, having 50 archers just like running around doing nothing, except they take each of them one shot, one shot, one shot, one shot. Because it takes time for the monolith to reshoot again. Same with the multi gear. And so even if one of them gets targeted eventually, by the time that that happens, the others will have gotten to it.
Wait, what?
Um,
What?
like because the main heavy defenses are targeting like the archers and all the barbarians running around from the troop launcher.
Oh yeah.
Um, it gives the main pack that's moving really slowly compared to those the time to actually reach the heavy DPS hitters, and then the splash defenses are targeting the um, Yetis instead. Because
Oh.
the second it gets down so many archers in an area that it just retargets to the heavy that hasn't died yet. So it's
Okay.
kind of the splash is hitting the one thing that can survive the splash, and the single DPS hitters are targeting all the multiple light targets in a way,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
it gives me that invincibility in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Well, I almost wonder too, uh, if the life gem and the torch might work for me,
Mm,
because I've been using the torch because I
mhm.
like that for the core to. What I really like for it is I can use the aura of the torch if things are getting wild, or once it spreads, right? Like if your army is, let's say even like the king is rounded the corner and they're spreading out, you can just catch everything and it kind of just melts into the base then. Like,
Yeah.
and you can kind of work some weird angles on it. Um,
Mhm.
and so I'm wondering with the life gem how that work. I'll have to play with that and let you know. Um,
Mhm. Yeah, with the revive especially, that's where the gems shine.
that's what I'm gonna
'Cause
have to add in.
you don't need to protect your warden at all. I mean, you don't wanna waste it early or anything, but, if he goes down, boom, he's back up. I love the rage for that too. I feel like rage is especially important with the Yetis, so that they can, because they are a really slow moving troop, probably similar to the E-Titans, just to give them that little extra um, to get through the core and all that.
So you're bringing a jump, a rage, the the recalls, 4 recalls, and
The revives,
or
revives.
revives. I mean, um,
Mhm.
and like a freeze.
Yep, 1 freeze and then 1 poison. I've honestly, I suck with poisons.
Me too.
Just I mean, it's nice, especially when it's witches and stuff, but if it's triple ice golem, which is, 9 times out of 10 what it's going to be, yes, it helps, but would a freeze be more helpful for the defenses when I'm frozen.
Yeah.
Because usually that's
More
in the core.
versatile.
Everything in the core is yeah. Everything in the core is, like, right, pounding everything, and they're so close together that I could just freeze them up for one of the ice golem freezes, and boom, that saves me so much health.
Yeah.
So
Have you, speaking of equipment and attacks,
mhm,
the big other thing in this ranked update, October update, is the meteor staff.
mhm. Yeah, it's
What are your
very
thoughts so
interesting
far?
idea. I like the idea quite a bit.
Yeah.
Um, it's another ranged equipment. I feel like they're adding more ranged stuff to each hero, which I really like. Like the king has the spiky ball, the queen has the giant arrow, the warden with the fireball, the queen or the RC with the rocket spear, and now this. I mean, it can hit. Isn't it infinite distance as long as it's the nearest
Yeah.
defense? Yeah,
Yeah. So,
like it's. I like it.
in the minute you drop it, so I have been, I'm almost caught up on the equipments that I like. So I
Hmm.
still, I think I have the fireball. I finally got to 26, I think,
Yeah.
because I liked it at first, but I'd like to use it in a different way. But so I'm still kind of holding on. What I decided though, I was saving up for that last fireball, and this dropped, and I said
Hmm.
maybe now is the time to try out the super, or try out the minion prince, like to try to work it in, because like you've heard, it's been rough armies and stuff, and I thought maybe this thing is what's gonna do it. So I got it up to
Mm.
23, I think, right now, and I've been trying to
Hmm.
work it in a little bit and just play around with it, but I'm new with the minion prince still, anyways. It is cool
Right.
to see. I liked the, like you said, the unlimited distance. I'm not by any means
Hmm.
a professional with it, so I'm kind of like, what I would say about it is probably going to be something different than everybody else is going to experience. But I could see it almost working well in the attack that you're doing. Maybe instead of like the king or something. That's where I was playing with
Mm-hmm.
it, like to see if I could swap out the king or the RC for it. Um,
Right.
I have problems keeping it alive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one problem with the equipment, and, I mean, you could do because when I was doing that Root Rider army, you would never think to use a flying hero with a solely ground Root Rider army, but so much of it was the healers and keeping the healers alive, with
Yeah.
tons of Coco Loons and, like, planning for all the air defenses and stuff. So, I had the Minion Prince with them, and he almost never went down. Um, and back then I was just running the OG equipment. So the henchman puppet and the dark orb, which the henchman puppet, yeah, it maybe saves me once. That's it.
Right.
Um, but with this, I could probably run something similar, and it can be used with ground armies. You just have to plan for it a little bit. And I could see that because the Yetis go so slow,
Yeah.
um, it could kinda, like, shoot out in front of them and get it down 'cause I feel like almost every time like, all the hits of the Yetis get it down to, like, just a sliver of health, no matter what building it is, and
And
so then they have to hit again. But if they each had a meteor rain down on every defense, then it gets that sliver of health beforehand, so it actually might speed things up.
when you were doing the minion prints before, were you using the troop launcher then?
Uh-uh, not at all. Which that could definitely help even more. I don't think it was even out at that point.
Okay.
The only way I was keeping them alive was I think it was 4 Coco Loons spread in a line, and then I did use the Eternal Tome like in the core because it's usually where like half the bombs are anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I
So it
could
kind
see
of get
that.
me through 3 or 4 sets of because I had the henchman puppet for 1 set of, Black Mines, the Eternal Tome for another set or 2 sets even, and then the Coco Loons for another 1 or 2 sets of Black Mines, which would usually be the whole attack, so
Yeah, I'm looking at the meteor staff at level 23 right now. It says it's a cooldown time of 6.51, 6.51. No, it's just 6.5 seconds.
Mhm.
Damage per hit this is the passive ability, 650. DPS increases 105 and hit point is 739. Um,
Mm.
it I think if you played with time, I think we're going to be seeing this. Right now, I don't have the ramp up one with the Dark Crown. I did put a
Oh,
little.
yeah.
I did put a little bit of resources into that. Warpig mentioned it and mentioned something like that he'd been seeing people or hearing of people using it with it, but he hadn't really experimented yet. I believe, if I remember right.
Mhm.
So I think there'll be some really cool strategies coming with that piece of equipment. Uh,
Yeah. Oh my
what a cool skin
It's
this month.
850 damage every 5 seconds at level 27. That's actually that's insane.
Yeah, if you could just put it on a corner after just to clean up, right? Like go in with your
Mhm.
ward with your RC or something and then take out the defenses, and if you could just let it sit in a corner without it, even going to the big thing, it would just be smashing damage the entire time.
Yeah.
Instead of, if I got to figure out how to do that. Do you like the skins this month with it?
Oh, these are probably one of my favorite sets of skins by far.
Are they? That
Yeah, they're so cool.
that dragon's pretty sick.
That yeah, exactly. The and he's so big on a base as well.
Yeah, he is, which is kind of a problem uh, when attacking or yeah, when attacking. Like it can kind of throw me off a little bit. But it does let you see the aura more because the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
wingspan will kind of just go out to the thing. Like it distracts me because it's so big on when I'm attacking.
Mhm.
Um, let me look. I did buy all the skins. It is
Mhm.
Halloween, but I was having problems seeing, so I did go back. Uh, I think my favorite one is I like the Royal Champion. The Minion Prince I just had to get it for. Um, I think they did a really nice job with it though. I don't have you checked out the rest of like the event troops or anything like that? Or just been I
Yeah,
haven't.
not this year. I think I've heard stuff about Barchers actually being one of the most powerful, with, what was it? Rocket Loons? So with a
Oh,
normal Rocket Loon Fireball with the Barchers, because I think it's normally 3 Rocket Loons take down some defenses, but if you put a Barcher on it and does that chip damage for the 4 seconds, and then only 2 Rocket Loons instead, it just makes it so you're conserving the Loons more.
yeah.
Um but otherwise, I mean, it's kinda all the same troops, isn't it?
Yeah, like the kind of
Uh,
bringing back the troops. Um, they had the frost. I'm even trying to think here, like going in like with this update and CWL and everything. It's like a whirlwind. I think every at the start of every month, and then once that first week is over, then it's kind of like okay, catch your breath, and then it's starting to gear up again. So we're starting to almost
yeah.
gear up for CWL already, and every month it just goes faster. Uh,
Yep.
Shout out, but while I'm thinking about it too, to the English henchmen for last month, we did a war, pre CWL war, which was friendly war, which was really kind of fun and starting to become a tradition. So shout out to those
Mhm.
guys, and hopefully we'll do it again this month. Okay, so other things with the update.
For me, like everything for me hasn't been affected too bad by bugs or anything. I've seen tons of stuff on Reddit. I think a little bit in clan chat of the negative ores and
Oh yeah.
all this other issues. Like it's been so weird. But one thing for me that has been bothering me a ton is I'm like I don't have like OCD or anything, but if I see, the little numbers that are like, oh, you have this notification and this many items to receive or something like that, um, like I want that gone. I want to click
Yeah.
on it, see it, and then get rid of it. And every single time you do an attack on the ranked battles, it has a little one that's like, "Oh, you did an attack, like, here's the battle log of it." And
Oh
every single time you
yeah.
have to click on it to clear the battle log. So I do, like, 4 attacks. I have 4 notifications, and I'm like, I don't want to see that. Like, I know how I did. If I wanna go watch it again, I'll go watch it again, but I don't need to be told, "Oh, you've done 4 attacks today so far." Like and it's like the notification icon just, like, showing on
Sure.
the little paper icon in the upper left-hand corner,
Yeah. Yep.
and
I
it's
know what
just
you're talking about.
every single time. Yeah.
I train
It's
myself against those
oh.
notifications. I purposely leave them on, and because I'm like I can't. I when they're cleared, then I start feeling this pressure to keep them cleared. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
just it's my brain that I'm like I'm not going to get my
Yeah.
dopamine. Um, so, but I could see it is a that is kind of annoying because I look at it and I go, well, what did I do? After an attack,
Mhm.
or was that mean an attack? And then when I click on the button for that, I almost wish, no, I do wish this. I wish that the battle log was in one place and the ranked battle log was in the other with like the ranked
Mm.
with the league system. Because when I
Right.
when I look
Yeah,
at
I can
it,
see that.
you're kind of flipping back and forth. Because when you look at it, you've got battle, defense, and attack, ranked, defense, and attack. So it's like a 4-tab thing. But but when you're flipping back and forth, it can kind of look the same, and just it's not super
Yeah.
intuitive. I think that'd be cool to switch it over to there. Um,
Mhm.
there have been the bug you mentioned, the ore bug, was that people were able to steal other people's ore when attacking, right? And
Mhm.
they were able to keep the whole thing. So normally you don't get ore from attacking, but they were showing up as ore. Did you know the particulars? I guess I thought I knew the particulars on it.
I No, I don't. I don't know how that all worked. I'm just assuming that people would, like, attack the blacksmith or something, and then when it was destroyed, they'll get a percentage of it or something. I don't know how that got worked into the bugs. Like, I'm just thinking about the coding. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's nothing even like that at all, unless it's their loot for the ore is stored the exact same way as the gold elixir and dark elixir. And then when you
Yeah.
get yeah, I guess that's probably what it is because they changed how much percentage you get of the resources. So they probably just did like all resources attacker gets, 10% or whatever it is. They
It,
forgot that they had stored the
oh
ore
yeah.
under that.
Well, maybe when they switched gold or starry ore, the starry ore is part of the daily bonus. Maybe that
Mhm.
flipped it into a resource category in the coding or something like that.
Right.
Where it
Yeah.
got exposed. I wasn't I didn't do it. If I would have had the opportunity, I would have.
Yeah. Oh,
And
I would've been attacking all day.
yeah, I would have been like, "What?" And I was really kind of jealous when I heard about it, and I thought, "Yeah, that figures." And
Mhm.
then it, it the ore was returned, right? Like they were,
Yeah.
they now had negative ore. And I didn't think about it in the moment, but I did afterwards think, so they got to keep the equipment, right? And that's why they would have negative.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So I was like,
So, I
well,
mean, it's fair, but I would be so frustrated to have to like everything I get just go to making me like break even at 0. I would hate that so much,
'cause-
especially Star War. Imagine being 145 in the negative.
oh my God. What if you were doing it all day and you, okay, so this is probably what I would have done. So maybe this is, okay, this is the podcast you would have had. I would have said, oh my God, I found it. I could do it. And so I took the day off of work. I didn't move. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I went to town. No, and then I would have said, you know what? Since this is free, I'm going to do all the equipment that I don't want to do.
Oh.
I'm going to get all the, I'm going to get the barbs and the archers all maxed out. I'm going to get
Mhm.
that lava loon puppet maxed out so I don't ever have to think
Yeah.
about it again. And by the end
Mhm.
of the day, I would have racked up a supercell card charge of ore
Yeah.
that when they said, now you have to return it, you're in debt. I would
Oh, no.
probably be working that ore off until 2027.
Yeah.
And I'd be all this new
Um,
equipment would be coming out and I would still be in the negative.
yeah, and there'd be no way to ever get it back either.
Yeah.
No way to even if you wanted to, like, gem it or anything, I don't you're buying the ore to gem it. You're not buying
Filling it
gemming the
back up.
levels, so
And
there's literally 0 way.
yeah, that would be a rough. So I'm thankful that I didn't get, because that would have been the podcast. And it was just by sheer luck of timing that it didn't happen to me. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
but that's where I would say, oh, free ore. I'm just going to do it to the things I don't. And here I would have been paying for that archer. So
Yeah.
hopefully that didn't, I don't really know how much people were able to get.
Mhm.
Because I was thinking about it, I'm like, if it wouldn't be bad if you were able to keep the equipment and you did it for the right equipment. And then you're like, okay, I'll just pay it for
Sure.
buy now, pay later for that you
Yeah.
repo your car coming for that ore.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the one thing we need to talk about just a little bit, um, and it feels like a long time ago already, was
Yeah, it does.
CWL, this CWL. Um, so L made it to champs for the first time. Uh, we were ready, I thought. I think like we were all
Mhm.
like geared up and um the bases came in. Here was what was weird is this new base company that it was the day of instead of a couple days before, which I thought would be
Right.
awesome for bases, but it also doesn't give you any time to like test it or let it cool down right away to
Oh, yeah.
even, so you almost have to get it in there. Like I was sitting there waiting for the stuff to come in, and when the stuff came in, I'm like, okay, we can get it out that day. If we can get it out that day, then people have a day to get it. So we hit the CWL button the next day, and we ended up waiting. They
Mhm.
were easier to get out, but then there were some weird permission things. Anyways, so our timing was a little bit weird, kind of going into it. I was running super behind with the roster and people moving. So our roster was a little bit different because we had a couple people leave right before, and like Maximus was going to go over to L2, but he didn't move in time, and so people just were we ended up kind of freezing it, and we were kind of at a skeleton crew in the just to
Mm.
get people in three different places, like
Uh-huh.
these L2 and whatnot. There's just some changes right before, so I think like I think as attackers we were ready. Um, but I think as a team, we weren't at our most coordinated. I was definitely not, I was definitely not coordinating as well as I normally do it, for sure. Just with
Mm.
time and
Uh-huh.
some stuff I had going on.
Yeah.
So, but starting into it anyways, I thought, we're going really well. And I don't know what your take was, but we just got slammed, like punched right in the
Yeah.
face over and
Mhm.
over again. Um, it- but I felt like it was just one of those months for some reason. It didn't like
Yeah.
bother me that it didn't bend me out of shape. Like, hey, we're not doing it. We're not. People were talking and um, looking at their bases and hitting, but it was just like everybody was kind of having rough luck. I thought
Right.
like it just was. It's like a 2% thing in one way. Where you're like some months you have it where like things are just clicking all together and you're on the one end of those 5% or 2%, and then the other month things aren't, you know, 5% all across the board changes in the other way. You have any thoughts
Right.
on CWL?
Yeah, I think in that league that we were in, um, like in champs, you can't afford like to have that, things are all disheveled and everyone's kind of running around and stuff. And I
Yeah.
feel like since that was our first, we didn't really realize that. And then because everyone else they probably have the same crew
Yeah.
always. And I think we were also kind of unlucky. We just went against like really, really good clans. You could
Yeah.
tell their bases were, at least most of them seemed bought and everyone was leveled up and stuff. Everyone is ready for it. Um, and so I think it was just, yeah, like you were saying, just not that we weren't necessarily ready for it. It's
Yeah.
just the timing of the month was just
Yeah.
the perfect worst.
Yeah, the perfect m- month not to have advanced because we're right in that ranked system. So as I'm trying to practice, and that was one of the bugs that kind of irritates me is that when I challenge, if I don't have the challenge, if I hit challenge, even if nothing's selected, it'll kick me into like a legend I have to like select and unselect something to make it just a normal challenge or whatever. So
Yeah.
so kind of getting into that with like the modifiers and trying to play around, I think had a big kind of impact and trying to figure everything out kind of takes you out of like the excitement of it too, like trying to play with all the new
Mhm.
things and figure out the new leagues and so I think like just overall it was tough. You did pretty well though, didn't you? If I remember right.
Yeah, I was surprised. I got, I think I had 5 triples and 2 like, I think I had 1 that was like a 99.99999% time fail,
Oh,
and then 1 that was like a 94% or something.
yeah.
Again, it's just like my army. Like, it's not even, I mean, I'm okayly skilled.
You,
But it's just this army is like just
You're
powers.
great. So I mean, if you can run it, you're consistent with it. That's kind of like the
Yeah,
big
yeah, yeah.
piece is being able to. And I think in my CWL, I think at first I was getting a lot of high 2 stars, and then just I don't know as I went on. I think towards the end, I think I had a 75, and then I got a 1 star.
Mm.
Oh, I forgot about the one
Oh,
star.
no.
And it was just like right there. It was kind of a dumb mistake, and it just that was kind of at the end of CWL. I'm like, okay, I really need to dial in um
Mhm.
and kind of maybe reevaluate my army or like kind of how I'm doing stuff as a team.
Mhm.
I think it was. I do think some of the usual suspects were out. People were kind of busy. Um,
Mhm.
people warring in different places, and really me, I think, with like coordinating, getting out the information, and kind of had an impact. It's just, yeah, there's some real life stuff going on that I had to attend to that uh, wasn't so pleasant. So I was like, okay,
Oh.
um, which is fine. Other people
Mhm.
aren't very happy, but uh,
Oh.
um, yeah. And I think maybe you're right. Like the luck of who we got, and maybe these bases, because our bases did not. It didn't even. It felt like they just got walked over, like from the
Yeah.
start. And it's hard to
Mhm.
tell in a brand new league what to expect with the type of bases you put up. If like on the first one, right? Like you go, okay, here's all these new bases. Um, oh, they destroyed us, or they destroyed mine. Okay, maybe it was just this clan's awesome. Then you have to go to the next one. So then
Right.
you're kind of, if you're committing to a base or untested base in it, you might be 2 or 3 days in before like you um, can change it. So we were, at least I felt like uh we were kind of married to the bases and a little bit dependent on it, and that was something maybe that was new for me at least,
Right. Yeah.
because we hadn't had like a batch of bad bases, had we?
Right. I don't no, we're pretty good with them all.
And then we got to about day 3 or 4, and I tried a different base, same thing, and then we
Yeah.
said just go to whatever you got going.
Mhm. Yeah,
I
I think I was actually really lucky with it, because this base that I've been running, that I forget who it was, but someone asked me for it. And then, you had mentioned it earlier, and I didn't defend super well, but I did get, I think, quite a few 2 stars against me, rather than triples. And
that's
this was, I think, base one from the pack that you had gotten. So maybe I just got really lucky, and
Oh, yours did hold up well, huh?
yeah,
I
like
wasn't
fairly well. I don't know 100% about in CWL, but at least in the normal matchmaking and stuff, where other bases don't hold up as well, even with fully maxed players, my defense log is insane. I have so
really.
many 1 stars against me. Just yesterday, I had oh my three. I haven't even looked at. Oh my god! Literally, my defense log is just 1 star, 1 star, 2 star, 86,
Oh,
1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 2 star, 75, 1 star, 0 star, 0 star. What?
is that the base you shared on Discord?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I copied it. So
Yeah. No,
it's on
it's
cool
really
to
good.
it.
I think it was base one.
Okay, cool. I saw that you posted that. I didn't know what it was for, so it popped up, and I'm like, you know what, I need another base anyways, so I put it in. So that's the type of
Mhm.
base that's giving me a real hard problem. So I was like, yeah, I'll keep it
Yeah.
just so I can hit it. Um,
Yeah, I mean, the invis plus the rage, basically, for those who can't see it, it's a ring around the outside with an extremely isolated core. And inside the core, it has an invis and a rage spell with both spitters, scatter shots, town hall. The CC's right there too. Like it is, it would suck to attack.
yeah,
Um, so with my attack, I would, funnel out the corners and then just push through the center, jump into the very central compartment. But then from there, I mean, there is that rage spell, or sorry, the invis spell tower that, everything would just kind of start walking away from that then.
yeah,
Um, and then the rage pops and then boom, it's like that's where I usually pop the
it's
king
rough.
ability if there's an invis, because I can at least get most of the defenses down before it pops. But, I mean, it's still unless you attack it perfectly, it's a 1 star, or at least gonna rain hell down upon your army before they
Yeah,
can get to it.
it'll be nice to practice on something like. There's been these compartment bases that just with a with a spitter and a compartment with a rage that are like
Yeah.
just impossible almost for me to get through. I've just been really practicing. I wonder what we'll see. I don't know if the new defense will be out for the new multi. I can't remember. When that's coming out, I think that might be in the next month. Well,
Mhm.
we'll have to get into the next time. But yeah, I think overall, CWL was just a rough month. I don't. There are months where you kind of feel like it's just when things don't go right, it's because you're not showing up, maybe, or like as a team, or just not. I don't really feel like that. I just felt like this was just, I don't know, disjoint. Like everybody was doing their best, and we weren't like working against each other. It was just that just wasn't the right timing or something. It was just not or was just a rough luck. So we demoted,
Yeah.
but Masters will be there, or
Yep.
it'll be there. Champions will be there next month too.
Mhm.
And that's I think, and every team kind of does that at certain times, kind of goes through the a little bit of a transition or kind of regearing. And yeah. So if
Yeah.
any one of those things, bases, this, that could have just tipped it right back the other way. And it would have, and maybe if we would have won the first round or second round and then, kind of saw it as like, oh yeah, we're still in this, and just any of that perception stuff, I think could have made a difference. But there's
Yeah. Yeah, we
only,
definitely have the what's
sorry,
that?
nope, sorry, go for it.
We definitely have the skill and the ability on our team. Like we're definitely not lacking in that. We have a lot of people who can regularly get 3 stars or at least very high 2 stars. And I think a lot of things are changing that month too, like you were talking about. So just trying to adjust to that kind of probably threw a few people off. But I don't, I, this chain is as strong as its weakest link, or that saying. And
Yeah,
I don't think we really have that extremely weak link.
yeah,
Almost everyone is leveled up and does, attack and attack well, and not just place dragons in one
yeah.
corner and hope and pray. Like we all, everyone actually plays the game and tries their best, and their best is quite well. So
And it's going to be an interesting year because now we've got, like, think about it, like last year at this time, uh, I was a 15, or at this time going into to Hammer Jam and these events, and then the new
mm,
town hall, and starting there, we're gonna have a lot of people now who have in the last year caught up or got really close. And when we go
yeah,
over, even like with this maxing, and supercharges and things like that, all that stuff, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that gets wiped away. And so even some of
hmm,
our weaker 17s now will all of a sudden, well, start at a much more even place across the clan than a year ago when
yeah,
it was a brand new 17. Some people were max 16s at the time. And so,
hmm,
I think it'll be a kind of a cool year to see that. And it seems like they're making it faster for people to catch up too. So I see
right,
some of these people in the clan that have been just grinding and working on it, and I think, wow, there's going to be some big change even before by the end of Hammer Jam, and in these later
yeah,
town halls, it seems like they're just kind of part one and part two. I don't know why. I feel like it goes a little bit faster, but
hmm,
so next month we
yeah. No, it'll be good.
we'll re-gear and do it all again. It's fun.
Yep.
Maybe we should just keep
Hmm.
doing this just to keep promoting, because that's kind of no, just kidding. New league. Uh,
Yeah.
well, should we do some shout outs?
Yeah, sure. I'll definitely first like to shout out you for having me on again. I haven't been near as active as I was like last year and a little bit over the summer, but I try and keep up with things. I'm doing all my hits and all that the best I
Kicking ass,
can.
taking
So
names.
I definitely appreciate that. Let's see. Definitely. So I'm just like scrolling through the clan chat, and I
Uh,
just see challenge after friendly challenge after friendly challenge. Like, and it's a lot of. I think it's just sign or sin or I don't know how it's how to
yeah,
say it. I think it's sign like math, but
that's how I say it in my head is sign
um,
or
yeah.
sing.
Um, so him and let's see who else. Like there's just so many friendly challenges in the chat that are just I love to see that. Evil Drew as well.
Oh yeah,
Beer Zombie, like
Tyler's
everyone is
there.
practicing. Yep.
That's been kind of
And
fun to have Tyler there because he'll throw up some bases and stuff. I've been busy, so I'll be around more now, but that's cool.
yeah. And O Porcupine as well.
Yeah.
He's the top ranked in our clan now and just going crazy.
Oh, Porcupine, Peckapedia, Beer, Daddy-O, Holding Strong. He's doing a lot between L and L2. I really
Mm.
appreciate that. Helping to keep L2 going. I haven't been on my seconds accounts that much. Radioactive Duck, Shane, Jarrett, Swimmy. Got a big shout out to Swimmy. Thank you for being here. It's been a while since we got to catch up, like literally,
Yeah.
because I think after our last podcast, you left for school or something. It was like right after. And
Yeah.
I think it was that week. And you had all this training and everything. So it's been a while since we got to get together. Big B,
Mhm.
Warthog, Fury, Sir Charms, Neon Zombie, who's new, Vasya, who's new also,
Mhm.
Zane, Pamba, Jay the Great is here, Fish, um, things people I haven't shouted out in a while. Ugly Brown Donkey. It's cool because we did get some 15s lately uh,
Mhm.
that are coming over, and we'll just move between the L and L2 for CWLs, and um, good to see like people progressing and like kicking ass. A big shout out to all you podcast listeners out there. Apologize for the delay in between episodes. I'm doing my best to do one every week. Things have been really crazy. So I will continue to try. There will definitely be every other. So if you don't see one week, it's just uh, things got a little nuts. So, but I will keep doing that.
Mhm.
We're going into the winter season where things slow down and we get snowed in, so there's not much. Um, Swim's about to get hurricane season, or you're in hurricane season right now, aren't you?
Yeah, we're in it right now. We haven't gotten anything yet, which, like, it's good, but then also it'd be nice to have a little break from classes, a little week of catch up, but
Get a little swimming done. Another
yeah,
natural
exactly.
disaster. Uh, shout out to the other podcasters out there. It's been fun catching up and connecting with everybody. And it's really been one of the things that I think makes the game really great is to just be connecting to people and getting to know getting to know everybody in different ways than just from listening to them on the radio. And I hope to have some more on in the near future. So,
Yeah.
well, until next time, you can find us in the House of L, and you can find information about the House of L and how to get a hold of us at clashofclanspodcast.com, or you can email me at clashofclanspodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, everybody, have a happy Halloween and keep it clashy.
Keep it clashy.
Skilly.
beep, beep.